Hey, Steppers. Here is your session briefing for Monday the 21st. That's tomorrow. I'm just going to give a little cheers to everybody. Hope you had a good week running. We're going to meet tomorrow at 5:45 at the Wyndham Park, the bandstand place, for a group warm-up. Or if you're running down from town, get there for 6 o'clock and we'll kick straight off into the first effort. If you're running down, what I'd like you to do is to jog down rather than run down, and jog down as slow as possible at a heart rate of 65% max. And that'll put you in a great position, ready to go. It might feel painfully slow and boring as hell, but it will set you up for a good session. This week's session, thanks Scott for asking what it is. I'm not going to tell you because otherwise you won't come. I know what you like, but I'll give you an outline. So there are two objectives for tomorrow. The physical objective is strong aerobic conditioning, and then there's also a knowledge objective, which is to get you to understand and feel and also look at it from a data point of view, zones 1, 2, 3 and 4 in the context of an interval session. Most people do get an interval session wrong and work them both for too long and too hard, and hopefully we won't. In order to do this, there's going to be 3 main sets. So we're going to start off with a tempo run, which will be between 6 and 8 minutes, depending on what level you're running at. We're then going to do a few hill reps on Hill Avenue, nicely called Hill Avenue, hill reps, yeah. And then we're going to follow that with a pyramid session with some efforts ranging from 10 seconds up to about 2 minutes. And that's going to enable you over the evening to run at really every single pace that's available to you in your sort of running gambit, as it were, at the moment. All the efforts are going to be to time, not distance. So all of you get to run the same training session. Obviously, the faster runners will run further and run further back on the recoveries. So you're going to get the same training effect as a complete beginner, basically. One thing we're going to do is, which is completely new to this group, we haven't done it before, is we're going to have a sin bin. This is something I invented the other day whilst out cycling, and I decided it would be a really good idea if we had a sin bin, and the sin bin really will be like a holding pen, which you're not allowed to leave until you have recovered sufficiently to start your next effort. And I'll talk you a little bit more tomorrow about how it's going to work, but basically we're looking at the efforts to hit a maximum of 85% max heart rate, and then not to start the next effort until you've recovered by at least 30 beats per minute. That's about a 20% drop, there or thereabouts. It doesn't have to be exact, but it's just gives you a recovery. So for example, if your 85% is 160 beats per minute, so at the end of the effort, or the top of the hill, you hit 160, you're not allowed to start your next effort until you hit 130. So you're going to need to be mentally present and make sure you're jogging back down the hill slow enough to recover, so that by the time you get to the bottom, you can go straight into the next effort. And this is what I call like your working window. This is like an aerobic window where you can work and run really fast, but without going anaerobic. So you're getting the aerobic conditioning that we want. And I think this is the sort of the thing that most people get wrong. I'm just going to flip this camera around if I can. I'm inept, so I probably can't. No, I can't, because I am inept. So I'm going to turn it around. So this is sort of what your session should look like in terms of you're going to start here and do some work, and then you're going to recover, and then you're going to do some work. So you're fluctuating between 85 and 65% effort in terms of heart rate effort between each effort. What most people do, and most runners do, and most clubs do, which is where things go wrong, is they tend to do the effort too hard. So you go over that 85%, end up working anaerobically, which is a very little training value, especially at the level that we're running at and the time of year we're at. It's very little benefit and little value. We then recover too fast, so our heart rate doesn't really drop. And then the next effort we go even higher. And this becomes a really hard effort, like a beasting, I'd call it. And it's a very low value and almost certainly will cause injury if repeated too often. So that's the plan. Finally, I have a question for you, which you can tell me the answer to tomorrow. And that is, I want to know what your average mileage was, or your total mileage for the last 7 days, not including tomorrow. So the last 7 days, your total mileage. And I'm going to compare that against the mileages that we looked at 2 weeks ago when we did the average. Any questions, just ping it in the comments. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. And I can finish my glass of wine. Cheers.